and he wrote this flowery article about Rob and his tradition here in New London, and we're a little disturbed at that. His tradition in what? You know, the man spent 16 years in a seat. Okay, ADA, all of these men. I mean, I'm angry at every one of these counselors that have been in the seat for years and did nothing about ADA. That is the American Disabilities Act, okay, that required government and public buildings to be open and accessible to people with disabilities, also to give them the means they need and that are necessary for their participation in our society, in our community. And this has been around for 20 years. It was mandated by the federal government, and these people have done nothing about it. And now they're talking of 20 years, and we are in a situation at the school. We're going to lose $7.5 million because it's not in compliance with ADA, and even new things get by. So I mean, I'm looking at politicians that are sitting on their buns with their hands underneath them, those buns, and apparently not having our interest and not doing anything about it. You know, it was like trying to even get cuts for the wheelchairs several years ago was a difficult situation. Even getting the streets plowed so that we have access. And these guys are out romancing all the elderly. I made a statement, you know, romancing grandma, me, old guys, and you can't even, we don't even have real access. Disabled people do not have real access to City Hall. And people are writing about New London tradition, like, oh wow, these guys did something good. I'm not sure what they did good, and I guess that's why I'm looking at some new people, and I only got one in town. I only see Finizio out there that seems to be an interesting candidate. And I'm waiting for where's something new, where's the breath of fresh air that we need in this city. These old hacks have failed. They have failed. And if this city can't get it together, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you should think about receivership, and the federal government should take over, because apparently none of them can run the city. And then you got a guy, I mean, it's really interesting. His whole family was union. Rob Perot grew up middle class, and apparently it looks like that almost all his family members were union people. And he's the most anti-union guy in the city. I mean, it is outrageous. I mean, I have a real problem with that. He enjoys the union protection now on his job. So these are the type of conflicts that we're looking into. It's the same, same with Mr. Bussetto. I got real problems with Mike Bussetto. I have asked him on my show many times. In the last, I believe in the last week, we have emailed him at least 2 times. I believe we emailed him 3. I keep all that, even going back a long period of time, so that, you know, there's no rumors. We can show you that we've done what we said. We're developing a film about what Mike said before that we're going to be running within a month or so. We've asked him to give him an opportunity to come on the show again. You know, and answer the tough questions. I want to talk to him. What are you going to do? And are you going to be open? And all those type of things that should be of concern to every one of us as voters and citizens of New London. And we've got to get the vote out. This is no joke. A strong mayor is no joke. And the power that this mayor is going to have is going to put him in there for a while. And nepotism has been ruling in New London, nepotism, where family connections are the meaningful situation that you can get a job at. Well, that is great in private business. I can't say much about that. I know family, I have family that own serious private businesses where they employ family and assure that family stays together and stuff like that. There is nothing wrong with that. That's private business. Public business is a different thing. The taxpayers support and we all support. That should not happen. Nepotism does not belong in governmental businesses that are taxpayer paid for and stuff like that. It doesn't belong there. Everybody needs a fair share and a fair shot at the job. Just because your daddy is the mayor doesn't mean you're entitled to a job. Or your uncle is the foreman of a certain department that you have an in there. That stuff, it's got to go. And a lot of people have said and state, and you can look at the names of who's hired and how this, and see how it has worked in New London. It hasn't worked for a positive note. It has worked against New London. And cliques have ruled, and they're starting to disintegrate because of the change of population. And the people who are open are going to survive. The people who have closed off to other people and are not open, you're going to find yourself at the wayside. That's what happens. You get old, you get removed, and that's what happens. You either open to new things, you either move along in a progressive, or you fall by the wayside and you're left behind. And that's what's going to happen to New London, and it is happening right now. So we hope that you'll get out and you'll stay informed over this season and watch what happens up to election and get engaged. Find a candidate who you really like and support. You know, because I'm really I know it seems early and everything, but this is an important race. And the earlier they're out, the better I want to see. And I want to see. I'd like to see some new people on the council, and what's going to happen in New London. So, you know, all I can say is the vote is one of the most important things. We're going to be in a lot of poor neighborhoods like we were the last year, the year before, and stuff like that, doing voter registration, you know, informing people what they should, not who they should vote for, but what they should concern themselves with, what the issues are, and everything else. And that's where we're headed. We do education programs, and we hope that the whole community is going to get out and get involved in this year's election. So tonight, again, I'm not here. I'm over there watching your new governor, who I think is a great guy, whether he causes us some pain or not. I really like Dan Malloy. Supported Dan his first time around, second time around, and we are happy that he's in the seat that he's in, and we believe he's going to do the best job he possibly can under the circumstances of our tremendous, painful economic situation that is not only here in New London and in Connecticut, but across the nation. So that's where we are. Bless you and thank you, and please, I'm probably going out a bit early. Please tune in next week, and also keep an eye out for Struggle for Justice. Real informative shows on that show, which is Friday, I believe, 6 to 7. I'm pretty sure that's when it is, from 6 to 7. And that show is showing some of the organizing that's happening in Hartford around justice issues and stuff like that. So that can be a very informative show. Bobby DeLello's been off running around all over the country speaking, and I know that Leo, our camera guy, and does our editing, and Bobby and the other people are really trying to do their best to keep that show together. So Struggle for Justice, I would keep I keep an eye on it, and I think I might even be on the end of this Friday at